5-Minute Focus. I'm glad you could join me. Lately, I've been thinking about one of those verses that I've known for a long time. It's a short verse. I've memorized it. There's even a song about it. And so I would consider it to be kind of a common verse. But I was listening to a guy quite some time ago who talked about this verse in a little bit more detail. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but I remember kind of being struck by what he said, and that I kind of looked at the verse a little differently afterwards. And so I want to read that verse to you and just kind of break it down a little bit and look at it a little more closely. It's from Micah chapter 6, verse 8. It says, "He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." And I like the verse. It's a great question to ask. What does the Lord require of you? I like that question. And it goes on to say, and it actually opens up with saying he has shown us. And it goes on to say what exactly he does require of us. To act justly. That makes sense. I like that. I think that it makes sense for us to look for what is right and what is wrong. And you could try to do the right thing, the just thing, the fair thing. That makes sense in our world. We should be doing that. And the next verse, it says to love mercy. I like that too. To love mercy it's to often not give people maybe what they deserve, to forgive maybe more often than you would think. Don't always look for the fairest response, but rather a merciful response. It makes sense. Loving mercy is a good thing. But when you look at it a little bit more closely, you could argue that acting justly and loving mercy could be somewhat contrary to each other. They're not really hand in hand and almost opposite. To act justly, but to love mercy, loving mercy, you may not act the way people deserve. You would forgive them. So what do you do with that? When you find a verse that has some conflicting statements like that or commands, best thing is to keep on reading. And so in the next line it says, after what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy, it says, and to walk humbly with your God. What a fantastic way to conclude that, because it's only with walking humbly with our God that we're going to have the wisdom to know when to act justly and when to love mercy. A lot of times it's almost like a teeter-totter. It's like the more often you act justly, the less often you're merciful. Or if you flip it the other way, the more often you're merciful, the less often you're acting justly. And sometimes we're doing that in certain areas of our life. We act more justly in one area and not merciful enough. But in a different area, we act much more mercifully and not often justly enough. And I think that by walking humbly with our God, we can find the wisdom to know how to balance that out, because I think God does want us to walk in a balanced way in those things, especially in our world today when we have so many issues that are presented to us, and we often don't know, or we prefer to take a stand on one thing, and we'd be better off walking with God, asking him, Lord, what should I do in this situation? Or how should I respond in this one? And it's just a comfort to know that God can give us the wisdom, he can give us the insight, and he can give us the balance to know when to act justly, when to love mercy, when we're walking humbly with our God. And so I just want to encourage you to continue doing that and to pursue him and to walk